Ew, what stinks in here?
The Litterbox is the part of the show where I dive into the stupid news and I bring you back only the best stuff. Only the best for my little babies. And let's get started with Chris Brown. Chris Brown is being sued right now because one of his dogs attacked his cleaning lady. He's actually, I gotta make an important distinction here. The cleaning lady who was attacked didn't actually sue him. It's the cleaning lady's sister that is suing him because they were cleaning together, and she says that she's suing for emotional distress, PTSD, and damages. So there's no word, as far as I'm aware, of whether or not the cleaning lady who was attacked is actually suing him or not. But in the lawsuit, the cleaning lady says that the dog has a history of biting and being violent. And normally, it's not the end of the world because when they go over to clean his house, they just keep the dogs locked up and it's never been an issue before. Well, apparently they didn't lock the dogs up this time. And the cleaning lady went out to the back yard to empty the vacuum, and the dog jumped on top of her, and her sister says that he just started shredding. He just started ripping her up. So I guess there was like 3 to 4 inches of skin ripped completely clean off of her arms. And she had also gotten bit all over her legs and torso as well before they were able to get the dog called off. Here's what I'll say. Like father, like dog, I suppose, because you're telling me that an animal owned by Chris Brown picked up a woman and just thrashed her? Shocking! And listen, I know Rihanna has forgiven him and has told all of us to forgive him and not worry about the fact that he literally beat her. But I'm the main story, and I'm the main character in this story, my friends. I will decide what Chris Brown's punishment is, and it will be being called a woman beater for the rest of his life because he beat that woman really bad. I'm just saying, man, Chris Brown's never looking all that great. He's got girlfriends in the hospital, and his dogs are eating people. What do we gotta do? What do we gotta do to stop him? And I feel like every time he drops a new song, we all pretend like he didn't do anything. But, I think he's a menace. That's what he is. Chris Brown is a menace. You heard it here first, folks. So Facebook censorship has really gotten out of control because they're using, this is my opinion on the matter. It drives me nuts because I do think that some stuff needs to be censored off of Facebook. I just think that there's certain like super violent stuff, excessive nudity, that sort of thing, has no place like in the public forum. However, what they're doing is they're using AI, artificial intelligence, to sort these posts. And the thing about that is, logically, they know curse words and they know nudity and stuff, but they don't understand nuance and they don't understand, they don't have the human element to it. And so when they use this AI instead of actual human beings to look at things and understand the context and actually apply the guidelines, you end up making an absolute fool of yourself, censoring things that don't need to be censored. And also, we could all use jobs right now. So if Facebook wanted to hire me to sift through their crap and censor everything, or not censor it, I would let so much slide. It would be great. Hire me, Mark Zuckerberg. Anyway. Facebook accidentally removed a town page. So it's the page for this town in France, and the town's name is Ville de Bitche. Ville de Bitche. That's how I'm gonna say it. Ville de Bitche. VILLEDEBITCHE. Ville de Bitche. Now, the AI saw the BITCHE, Bitche. That's fancy. That's what y'all can call me. I'm a real Bitche. Thank you. Facebook's just saw that it was very, very close to the B word in English, and it censored it. It took the page down back in March. So it's been like a month since this Facebook page has even been able to be accessible. And the mayor of the town submitted to Facebook like, hey, you guys messed up, and Facebook never got back to them. You know why? Because no one's there reading the mail. Have you ever tried to submit a ticket to anybody at like a tech company? It's impossible. They don't listen to you. There's not a real human being anywhere. It's just like a couple of guys in a closet somewhere, and they all pretend to be Google. There are like 3 guys their names are Tom, Jeff, and Xavier, and they all pretend to be Google, and they ignore all of your emails. That got them some bad press, and wouldn't you know it, a little bit of bad press, and suddenly the Facebook page was restored immediately. So you can't talk directly to them, but if you talk to them through the media and make them look silly, then they'll actually do something. We know your game, Mark Zuckerberg. You're a clown. Ugh. I hate that guy. Just hire people to review your content. Stop using computers for everything. I get it. I love computers. I love technology. DoorDash is fantastic. It's great. I can't wait for the self-driving car. But like, let us filter through our own nudes, for crying out loud. What is this country coming to? Lady Gaga. So she released Chromatica last year, which I loved. I know it wasn't everybody's favorite, but honestly, it's for the gays. She made that one for us. That was exclusively for us. It's club music, it's fun, it's dancey. I love Chromatica. And ever since then, we've been hungry for more Gaga music. So a group on Twitter, probably on Reddit, they got organized and they said, here's what we're gonna do. She released 7 years ago an album called Artpop, and it was all electronic music, and it did pretty well at the time, but it was never one of her like bigger albums, and she always has said that Artpop like almost killed her. Making it, she was in so much pain, she was exhausted. All of her fans got together and said this was such a work of love that she made for us. We're gonna go make it trend on iTunes, and then we're gonna ask her to release the B-side of that album, because the rumor is in the past where she actually has hinted that there is an Artpop Act 2 and that it just never got released. So everyone's like, give us the B-side, girlfriend! And they made her album launch to number 3 on iTunes. Everyone bought Artpop on iTunes, and it just soared to number 3 immediately. So she released a really sweet statement. She said, I fell apart after I released this album. Thank you for celebrating something that once felt like destruction. We always knew it was ahead of its time. I agree. I really do think that she didn't get the love she deserved at the time, but I think we're ready for it. Give us the second act, girl. Do it. And finally, have you ever heard of the word Schadenfreude? It is a German word that very specifically means you take pleasure or you take joy in others' misfortune. And like, is it always great to laugh at the suffering of others? No. But is it great to laugh at the suffering of Harvey Weinstein? Absolutely. You better believe it! So Harvey Weinstein, he was convicted, and he's currently serving a prison sentence in New York for sexually assaulting, like, everyone. All of the women in Hollywood. He's a monster. Well, he is also due in court in LA, so they're working on extraditing him from the prison in New York to LA to face yet another set of sexual assault charges. Well, his lawyers are asking them to just hold off on that or to cancel the extradition altogether because it would be inhumane to send him in his current health state. They're saying that he has now gone completely legally blind because his health has deteriorated so badly in prison, and that he has a condition where he's been losing teeth. He's lost 4 teeth, and he has a couple of surgeries coming up, but he's probably going to lose a lot more of his teeth. So he's just sitting in this cell, rotting, in pain, losing his teeth, completely blind. Good! Good! I'm so glad that that is how you're spending your final days, you pig monster. Oh my god, that's the best headline ever. Losing teeth and blind, they're gonna throw him on a jet to LA to face his friggin' crimes again. The thing is, man, I feel like not enough bad guys really face their punishments. Not the really bad guys. The really bad guys are usually too powerful and have too much money to actually deal with any real consequences. So when they do, it is delicious. Because guess what? That's what life is like for the rest of us. Do you think that we could just call in sick to an extradition hearing? No, of course not. The only reason he had the cojones to do that is because he once ran the world. Well, you don't anymore. Now you're blind and toothless. Shut up and go to your trial, you loser.